Have you ever noticed something strange? The people who look wealthy aren't always the people who actually are. And sometimes, the people struggling the most financially look the richest. Think about it. A luxury car parked outside a rented apartment. A $1,000 phone purchased on monthly installments. Designer clothes paid for with a credit card that's already carrying debt. From the outside, everything looks successful. Behind the scenes, it's often a very different story. Imagine a young professional in Chicago, London, or Berlin. After taxes, they bring home around $4,000 a month. Rent takes $1,500. Car payment, $500. Insurance, $180. Student loan, $300. Utilities, groceries, subscriptions, fuel. By the end of the month, maybe $300 is left. But then social media quietly whispers something dangerous. You don't just need to be successful, you need to look successful. And that's where money starts disappearing. Today, we are looking at 11 things people often buy to appear richer than they are. And why each one quietly delays financial freedom. Not because these items are bad, but because of the reason many people buy them. The first is the luxury car. Cars are emotional. They are visible. Everyone sees what you drive. Very few people know how much money you have invested. Imagine buying a $55,000 SUV with a 5-year loan. Your payment might be around $900 every month. Add insurance, maintenance, fuel, registration. Now you're spending well over $1,200 every month on something that loses value every single year. That's over $14,000 annually. In 5 years, you've spent around $70,000. Meanwhile, the car itself may only be worth half of what you paid. The interesting part isn't the depreciation. It's the opportunity cost. If even half of those monthly payments had been invested instead, the long-term difference could become hundreds of thousands of dollars over several decades. But our brains aren't wired to notice opportunity costs. We are wired to notice status. Humans evolved in tribes where appearance affected survival. Today, that instinct hasn't disappeared. It simply attached itself to cars instead of social rank. The second is designer clothing. There's nothing wrong with quality clothing. But many people confuse expensive with valuable. A $700 jacket doesn't keep you 7 times warmer than a $100 one. Most luxury fashion isn't purchased for comfort. It's purchased because other people recognize the logo. And here's the irony. Most people aren't paying nearly as much attention as we think. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect. We consistently overestimate how much others notice us. You may remember someone's kindness for years. You probably won't remember the logo on their shoes next week. The third is the newest smartphone every year. Technology companies have mastered something powerful, making perfectly functional devices feel outdated. Let's say someone upgrades every year. The new phone costs $1,200. Trade-in discounts soften the blow. But there's still hundreds of dollars leaving their pocket annually. Multiply that over 10 years. Now compare that with someone who upgrades every 4 or 5 years instead. Both have phones. Both can text. Both can work. Only one quietly keeps thousands of extra dollars. The difference isn't technology. It's patience. The fourth is luxury apartments that stretch the budget. It's tempting. Modern gym. Rooftop pool. Beautiful lobby. Coffee bar. Everything feels premium. Until rent consumes nearly half your take-home pay. Housing is one of the biggest financial decisions most people ever make. A difference of just $600 per month in rent becomes over $7,000 every year. Invested consistently over decades, that gap becomes enormous. The apartment impresses visitors for 5 minutes. The monthly payment affects you every single day. The fifth is eating out as a lifestyle instead of an occasion. One lunch isn't expensive. Neither is one coffee. Neither is one food delivery. The problem is repetition. Suppose lunch costs $18 instead of $6 made at home. That's a $12 difference. 5 workdays a week. About $60 weekly. More than $3,000 every year. And that's before dinners, drinks, delivery fees, and tips. Convenience slowly becomes habit. Habit quietly becomes lifestyle inflation. The 6th is expensive watches. A watch can absolutely be appreciated as craftsmanship. Collectors understand this. But many buyers aren't collecting. They're signaling. They're hoping the watch communicates success before they do. The uncomfortable truth? Most successful professionals build credibility through competence, not accessories. People remember reliability. They remember intelligence. Very few remember the brand on your wrist. The 7th is oversized homes. Banks often approve larger mortgages than people can comfortably afford. That doesn't mean it's wise. A larger home doesn't only mean a larger mortgage. It means higher taxes, higher insurance, higher heating and cooling costs, more furniture, more maintenance. Every extra room quietly asks for more money. Many people buy space they rarely use, then spend decades paying for it. The 8th is luxury vacations financed with debt. Vacations create memories. Debt creates obligations. Those two things don't mix well. Imagine spending $8,000 on a vacation using credit cards. If that balance stays unpaid while interest compounds, the memories stay the same. The vacation becomes dramatically more expensive. Financially secure people often travel too, but they usually separate enjoying life from borrowing against their future. The 9th is buying everything on monthly payments. Modern financing has changed how people think. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" people ask, "Can I afford the monthly payment?" That's a completely different question. A $70 payment here, another $45 there, then $120, then $90. Individually, they seem harmless. Together, they quietly consume financial flexibility. Before long, much of next month's income has already been promised away. The 10th is spending heavily on luxury weddings. A beautiful wedding is meaningful, but many couples confuse one day with an entire financial future. Imagine spending $45,000 on a wedding. That's money that could have become part of a home down payment, an emergency fund, retirement savings, or simply reduced financial stress during the first years of marriage. Ironically, beginning a marriage under financial pressure often creates more tension than having a slightly smaller celebration ever would. The 11th, and perhaps the most expensive, is buying a lifestyle instead of building wealth. This one doesn't come with a price tag. It shows up everywhere. Always ordering the premium option. Always upgrading. Always choosing appearances over flexibility. The real danger isn't one purchase. It's identity. When someone begins believing, "I need expensive things to prove I'm successful," their spending naturally rises every time their income rises, no matter how much they earn. Financial peace stays just out of reach. Here's something interesting about genuinely wealthy people. Many don't spend much energy trying to appear wealthy, because real wealth works differently than status. Status depends on other people's opinions. Wealth depends on ownership, assets, investments, savings, cash flow, freedom. One is visible. The other is powerful. Financially intelligent people don't necessarily avoid nice things. They simply reverse the order. They build financial security first. Then they buy luxuries from surplus, not from pressure. That single shift changes almost everything. Instead of asking, "What will people think if I own this?" they ask, "What does this purchase cost my future?" Sometimes the answer is worth it. Sometimes it isn't. But the decision becomes rational instead of emotional. Looking rich has become surprisingly affordable. Almost anyone can finance expensive things. Actually becoming financially secure is much harder, because it usually requires invisible decisions. Driving the reliable car a little longer. keeping the phone another year, living slightly below your means, ignoring comparisons. None of those choices generate attention. But over 10, 20, or 30 years, they quietly create something far more valuable than appearances.